Looks like it's still cold there, Catherine. It's warming up here. The snow is melting. Okay, so we were working on move number 3. So let's review what we did. We'll finish because we've only got one more little part to do, and then we'll practice these first 3 moves a few times, right? So the third move, which by the way is called what? What's the name of the third move, Catherine?
Um, lazily open your coat or something like that.
That's actually uh, lazily tie your coat, so
Oh,
lazily close your coat, but you were
okay.
close. So that's as far as we went, right? Let's do it a couple of times. One more. Okay, Catherine, why don't you lead us in 3 of those, and
Okay.
then we'll have Jill lead.
3.
3. 2 more. Okay, stop. Pretty good, but pay attention to your hands, right? Well, where you need to go with this is to be a little bit more definite, to be a little more yang, right? You can always dial it back, but I'd like to see you go a little more yang. So here, for instance, is what I mean. I'll demonstrate. Watch my hands. I'm going to do this first the way that you're doing it, and then I'm going to do the way I'm suggesting, at least so that you explore the range of expression, right? Okay, right? This is what I mean, right? Like this, rather than like this. This is one thing. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's different from this, right? So watch. Here's here's the really soft way. There's nothing wrong with that, seriously. But When you express a little more through your hands, what happens is you bring your energy out of your body into more contact with the rest of the world. So again, watch my hands. All right? So a little more oomph, try it. Good. This is a little bit like your choir master telling you to increase your volume just a little bit, all right? A couple of things you might watch out for. And I know this is going to sound picky, but it gets that way. Watch your fingers, all right? When you come around, and it was pretty good, but two of your fingers were kind of like this. Second thing, when you get here, watch your elbow.
Oh.
You don't want it up and floating, all right? You want it to roll down and ready to
I was
go.
aware of it actually.
Good, all right? Okay, Jill. Catherine, that was good. Very good.
No, I mean, you know, like you said in English, it's good, but there is a lot of room for improvement. I like that.
There's always room for improvement. What I'm doing with you, what I just did with you, and I'm going to do it with Jill too, are called corrections. And normally you only get corrections in private lessons because there's just not time in a public class. But corrections are the thing because they take you from kind of the public class level, which is, you know, it's good, but, you know, to a much higher level. Okay, Jill.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Okay. So I should have said this before, but this is the time to say it. One of the advantages of doing corrections in a small class like this is everybody else hears your corrections, so they can take advantage of them, right? So now I'm going to give Jill some corrections, and you can take advantage of it. Okay, so Jill, the first thing is to understand what the first joint lock in here is about, right? So let me demonstrate it. All right? So the hands are back to back. I'm exaggerating a little, but they're back to back. All right? And they're not like this, they're like this. All right? And then relax into your left leg. And you're blocking with this hand, with the left hand. You're winding up with the right, and then you block down and hit the guy. Right? And you see my fingers are extended because it might very well be a poke in the eyes. Right? Not with the palm. Well, it could be with the palm, but not with the palm, but with the ends of the fingers. Yes. Right? Good. Do it again. Okay, better. We still need to clear something up at the very beginning of the movement. Watch. The first part of this movement is a big circle. Pull down. Then you open the hand. That's rocking the baby. You don't rock, but that's rocking the baby. Then you come around, right? So what you're doing is circling your own dantian. Right? Step out. Join hands. And snap back to center. We'll do it the simple way. There are two functions. I actually didn't mention the first function because I was kind of trying to simplify this a little bit yesterday. There's actually, as just as with your Tai Chi symbol, there are two functions here. One is offensive, one is defensive. So let me demonstrate them a little more clearly. Normally, this is a very quiet form, so you wouldn't necessarily do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way, all right? All right? So there's two functions. Boom, one. Well, that's a push. It's very likely that what's going on is somebody's got hold of your wrists. When somebody grabs your two wrists, what are you going to do? Now the guy's got you. He's controlling your right side and your left side. One of the things you can do is just join your hands together. You can usually manage that. I mean, if the guy's 10 times bigger than you, maybe you can't, but you know, normally you can just join your hands together. That gives you power in your center. So yeah, he's still holding on to your wrist. So you draw into your dantian, right, come under your dantian, go over your dantian, and push him. He's still got hold of you, so you don't necessarily have to even come into contact with him. He's holding on to you. You push that where he's holding on. A lot of times, he'll just fall backwards. He may still be trying to hold on to you. He's still trying to hold on to you. That's when you jerk back, right? And it's like this. Your dantian is going like this. Right? So that whole big circle are those two applications. All right, step out. The guy's got your hands. Go under your dantian, over your dantian, and push. And then snap back. Now, when you snap back, remember to bring your right toes with you, because you stepped out and opened your toes a little bit toward this 45-degree angle. Now you want to bring those toes back in, because the next move is going to be to open your left toes. Now you're 45 degrees this way. So you need to bring those toes in as the first part of switching from this 45 to this 45. Under your dantian, push, snap back to center. Now my weight's on my left. Shift the weight to your right. Shift back to the left. Hit to the right, and as you hit to the right, open your left toes. Now, you're going to roll the dantian again, right? Roll the dantian and close. This is a reverse. Jill, were you here yesterday?
Mostly.
So this is a reverse joint lock. Right? You're using the back of the wrist as a fulcrum. This little move is a little tricky to get, but when you get it, it's really fun to do. All right. I'm just going to do it with my right hand. What's going to happen is my dantian is going to roll like this. Master Zhang used to say, imagine you had paint on your hand and you were painting a big circle on a wall. Now, at the same time that you're doing that one, right, you need to do this one. It works off the same circle. Yes, Kevin.
So your left hand, you got your fingers out. Your right hand, it looks like you're down. I know what you're doing, but where's the fun in the wrist?
It's not exactly a hook hand, right? But this is hard to do without somebody to hold your wrist. But imagine someone's got your wrist, you're rolling it, right? You're coming up and rolling around their hand.
Yeah, the left hand is what I'm curious
this
about.
this one, yeah. It's essentially the same thing, but this one would go to the inside and then roll his arm to the outside, right? This one would scooch around to the outside and roll it to the inside. So they're doing the same thing, but they're doing it in opposite directions. All right. Is that clear, Catherine?
I was really like thinking, oh, I'm getting it, but right now I'm lost.
So this guy's got hold of my wrist, right?
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
one way to get out of it, even when he's holding onto your wrist. Now, if you just try to do this with your arm, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to use the power of your body. On this side, right? On this side, he's got hold of you here, and you're coming around like this. So this one, I'm using the back of my hand here. On this one, I'm using my thumb here. Yeah, Catherine, you got the idea.
Yeah, okay.
And then when you get this move, it's a very sexy dance move, right? And then relax. And remember what I said yesterday, when you relax, you're going to go over here. You don't just go over there like that. It's never, let me demonstrate when you're actually moving a leg. What some people do at the beginning, let's say I want to go from my right leg to my left leg. Let me put my claw on here. All right, so let's say that that I'm going to move over here. But I'm going to do it by actually not just scooching my leg, but I'm really going to lift my leg and move. You're going to have to go, the energy is going to have to go from this foot to this foot, and it's going to have to go through here. This is a ball. It's the Dan Qian. So it's going to turn, right? At least if you're studying Tai Chi, it's got to turn. One way it could turn would be to go up and over and turn, right? That would look like this, right? I'm coming up, going over, and coming down again. Up, over, down. The problem with that is, one, it takes a long time. You could read a short book in this time, right? The second thing is, you're going to pull your root out of the ground. And now you're sort of wobbling around here. The easier way to do it, right, is just to go under. It's much sneakier, right? You sink. Not only do you not lose your grounding, you actually gain more grounding because you're going to sink into the ground and then scooch out. All right? You're going to sink in and scooch out, or you can even step, but the Dan Qian is turning this way. Clear?
If you don't sink, you're not going to get that move. You gotta.
Yeah. You have to sink.
You gotta establish that root into the ground, and then your balance is right on that leg, and it's easy to move everything independently.
The number one thing that you want to accomplish learning the form and going through the form from the beginning to the end, every move, all 12 movements continuously, you are in balance the entire time. You never lose your balance. Now that takes a while. Nobody gets that the first week. It takes actually several years to get that. But this is one of the secrets. Don't raise your chi. Because you raise your chi, now you're top heavy. You're top heavy like this and you'll fall over, right? So, boom. When you raise your chi, your shape is like this. Right? And you're standing on this little point here. So you're going to get kind of wobbly. If you keep your chi down, then your shape is like this, and you will be sturdy. There's a saying in Tai Chi in Chinese, stand like a mountain. Stand like a mountain. Move like a river. Right? And a river flows. So, in this move, how do you accomplish that? Well, when you're practicing, and you should always be practicing, you take a moment to remember that your weight is on the right leg. I'm going to go to the left, but my weight is on the right. Right? So I need to sink in the right quad and then move them like this. Right? Sink in the blue and then move that sink to the red. Boom. And I never lose my balance. You also have no bobble. You know what a bobble is? Catherine, you know what a bobble is? It's like a little place where you lose your sense of balance. You don't bobble anything, which means your energy flow is going to be very smooth and powerful, because this is a joint lock. When you apply a joint lock, right, you have one chance. You don't get to try it and then go, oh, wait a minute, I screwed that up. Could we do that again? They don't. Your opponent's not going to let you do that. So that means it needs to be very smooth. Watch. Sink in the blue, joint lock. Very smooth. There's no breaks. Boom. Sink in the blue, and then you transfer the sink over to the right, and then you give it just a little extra at the end. All right? Your weight comes down. And remember what I said about the spring, right? Jill, you heard about the spring, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Boom. Watch this hand. Watch this hand. This hand is not just passive. When you're doing this to someone, this hand doesn't just sit there. It actually turns. It's turning this way while this one's turning this way. So you're doing this. All right? All right. Boom, boom. Okay, then you apply that, and then you just relax inside. You relax, and what's going to happen is you're going to root yourself into the ground again on the red side, because that's carrying the weight. And then you come up through the body and out through the arms. And you come out to your fingertips and even further than your fingertips. Imagine your arms are 2 feet longer than what you can see, right? Why? Why is that important?
Extends the lever.
It's the length of the lever. If my levers are short, I'm not going to have much leverage. If your levers are longer and literally going out, they will be much more effective. And that's not just a pretty poetic metaphor. It really is true. All right. So you extend your mind. You extend your mind, and where your mind goes, your chi will go. All right. So you extend. Now you come up into that. Okay, that's where we ended yesterday. Let's finish this. So I think there's three moves left here. We just did a reverse chin-na. Now we're going to do a forward chin-na. Watch. Again on the left side, so you're sinking in the red claw, right? And instead of your arm being backward, now your arm is forward, and you've got his elbow, and there are points around the elbow that you can manipulate. Right? This hand is turning this way. This hand is turning this way. Yes, Catherine, good. So it's exactly like you're wringing out a dish rag. One hand goes one way, the other hand goes the other way. All right. And then you don't so much force with this, right, as you sink in the red. And your own weight is what captures him. So what you try to do when you do this, you have to learn to feel into the other person's body, the way a Chinese masseuse might. And when you grab, you can do this very, very quickly once you figure out how to do it. You lock his wrist, then you lock his elbow, then you lock his shoulder, then you lock his dantian. And you can lock all the way down to the bottom of his feet, to the point where he can't even move. Boom. Okay, from there, all right, so there's two more functions in here. One is an elbow strike. All right. Watch. China. Elbow strike. I'm shifting my weight from left to right. Don't do it with your elbow. You do it with your waist. Watch it. Do you see it go boom? It kind of wiggles, boom. That's called shaky power, all right? It's because you throw it, and as soon as you throw it, you release it. You tense up and throw it, and as soon as it hits there, you just release this. And so it just bounces back. When you strike something in Tai Chi, at the moment when you strike it, your body is hard. But the moment before and the moment after, your body is soft. So it's soft, 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 hard, soft. And that's reflected in the dantian. Right? Soft, 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 hard, and then immediately soft again. Now, how can you do that? That sounds crazy. How can you do that? Remember, this is about your energy body, not your physical body. You're not actually hitting him with your physical body. You're hitting him with your energy body. So once in class, I'm sure I've told you this story, but I enjoy telling it. Once in class, Master Jean called me up front, and he said, now I want you just to stand there, and I'm going to give you a little pop on the shoulder. All right? I'll give you a little pop on the shoulder here. What I want to know from you is, where do you want the bruise? Do you want it here? Or would you rather have it here? Or would you rather just have a headache? And you go, what is he talking about? It's the shock wave that goes into your body. That's what you're hitting him with. And the shock wave, he can aim the shock wave for the point of contact, or all the way across the globe to the other side of the globe, or he can just shoot it up into your head and give you a headache. And it's true. He really could do it. You can learn to aim the shock wave. So that's what you're hitting him with. It's not like you're trying to punch him with your fist. It's like you're trying to punch him with the energy inside the fist. So how this works is, when you, if we're going to use the elbow, for instance, as you're moving in this direction, you can feel a wave. You feel that way. It's very easy. It's very simple. You feel that wave. That's the shock wave. Right? Now, it's not shocking anybody, so it's just a wave. But if you aim it, right, you aim it and direct it, it's the shock wave that hits him and that causes the trouble, not the physical contact so much. Master Zhang used to say, if you study karate or boxing, getting hit by a good boxer is like getting hit by a bullet. It's hard. Said getting hit by the shock wave of Tai Chi is like getting hit by an ICBM. Catherine, you know what an ICBM is? It's a nuclear missile.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, Kevin.
So you may or may not want to do this, but there are videos where they fire a bullet into a block of what they call ballistic gelatin.
Right.
And the cavitation of the little tiny bullet going through this thing, you end up with this massive concussion channel of the energy that's been dumped into that as it hits. It's pretty remarkable to see that happen.
Yes, and it's pretty remarkable if it happens to you. Now, there's an interesting thought about that. Now, you all heard what Kevin said. So they shoot gel and, you know, it explodes and blah, blah, blah. It's pretty bad. The amount of force that the bullet hits that with is the exact amount of force that kicks back into your own body. And yet you don't get hurt, but the person getting hit by the bullet gets hurt. Why? Yeah.
The size of the bullet versus the size of the end of the rifle.
That's it. The bullet is small and pointy. The gun is fairly good size and it's already in contact with the body. So the body actually jerks back a little bit and that dissipates the energy. But the same energy that kills somebody doesn't do you any harm. So it's exactly the same kind of thing. The amount of energy that you create might not seem that big, but when it all comes down to a single point on the elbow, right? Yeah, that'll hurt. That'll really hurt. Getting hit with a fist can be really difficult. It's hard to take. Getting hit by an elbow is worse. Often much worse.
Plus, you don't usually break your elbow, but you can break your fist.
When you hit with your fist, you're very likely to hurt yourself. You know, boxers, professional boxers who wear gloves, the gloves are not on to protect the other guy. The gloves are on to protect the fists. Because they don't want, these guys don't want to get broken hands. Yeah.
What is the last move of this? The last one?
The last move is just like this one, only now it's on this side. So here and now here. All right, watch. 1, 2, 3. And we're out of time here. It sounds like Catherine has to go. There are some fine pointers I need to give you about how to do that. But if you remember what I said about the spiraling down straight down the leg. Now think of this as spiraling straight out the arm. It's not this. Right? It's this. Okay, we'll pick it up there next week and we'll finish this move and go on to move number 4. You guys have a great day. We'll
Thanks.
see you later.
I just realized I'm gonna be out the next 3 weekends.
Oh,
Well, check in if you have a chance. Check in with the recordings and keep up.
Yeah, yeah, because next weekend I'm in retreat, and then the following weekend I fly to Japan,
Oh yeah.
and then I'll be there for 2 weeks, and I'll be coming back. I think it's Friday night.
Well, so
So
we probably won't even see you for 3 weeks, but you have a great time in Japan. I think that's a wonderful
you.
thing to do.
Yes,
I'm
I'm
definitely,
very
I'm
yes, I'm getting very excited.
totally jealous. All right. So you can think about that when you're there, that we're all jealous that you got to go. You have a great time, hon.
Yes, I will.
See you next time, everyone.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.